There we are. All right. Okay. So here we go. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. It is our webinar series on ISO in general, and this is number 8, and we are addressing the visible evidence of leadership support, and we are going to be speaking about a lot of documents and everything that has to do with what kind of evidence can you actually gather. I just want to set down the guidelines for the webinar. Please firstly mute your microphone, and please also, if it's possible, your video as well. Switch it off. It is just better for the streaming for everybody. And let me finish with my presentation. It will take about between 40 to 50 minutes. And if you have got questions, please put it in the Zoom chat box that is at the bottom of your screen, or maybe on the top of your screen. There's a Zoom chat box that you can put it that you can ask your questions either directly to Elian, or you can put it in general there, and we will allocate some time at the end for all the questions to be answered. And then the webinar shall be recorded. Just need to inform you about that, and we will put it on our website, and we'll make it available for everybody else. Okay, so table of contents. We are going to start with who is Crest, and then we are going to look at visible evidence, the strategy about it, the statement, the rationale about it, the key benefits, the actions you can take, and then we're speaking about the types of management system documentation, the creation of document templates, and then we're looking at the document management life cycle, and then we're implementing a document management system. We're just making some suggestions there, and then we will take you for a quick tour through our system that we've got, Isolytics, and then we will speak about the freebies and then questions. So let's start. Who is Crest? Crest has been established by myself, Nico Snyman, on the 13th of June 2014. So we are 6 years old, and we are, as a company, we are blessed. So we are specializing in corporate governance. This is our main focus, and this has to do with any kind of management system that we are speaking about, and this is to do with risk management, business continuity, compliance management, health and safety, and we are actually certified by the Professional Evaluation Certification Board, and you can see it here on the right hand side. This is our Platinum Partnership. That is for us very important, and we are certified in 17 management systems globally. The PCB can actually certify in 18 management systems, and we are certified in 17. So we are a Platinum Partner. Now, Platinum Partner is for us very important. Just want to explain that quickly. Platinum Partner means that out of the 1,912 as of this morning accredited partners with a PCB, there's only 29 that has got the Platinum Partner status, and we were number 23 out of the 29. So this is for us a real honor to be part of this huge network globally that is over in 150 countries, and we are proud of that. So if we are, just want to go on quickly here, sorry. I see that. Good. So the 8 offerings of Crest Advisory Africa is, firstly, we are conducting training. Now, training over a broad spectrum, as we have explained there. We are doing advisory services or management consulting, and we are doing that across the whole corporate governance spectrum. Audits, because we are working in corporate governance, audits are very important for us, whether it is control self-assessment audits, whether it is first-party audits, second-party audits on your customers, on your clients, or third-party audits, that is independent audits. We are doing that. Products, we've got fantastic products to actually drive corporate governance. So we have launched one of our toolkits yesterday for ISO 22301 for business continuity, and you can go and access it on our website. You can go and buy there. It is fantastic documents. If I'm looking at our competitors in the market, they are providing you with between 40 and 52, 53 documents, we are giving you about 114, 115 million around there. So we have actually everywhere where we have implemented business continuity or any other management system, we have actually went to look at what was the uniqueness of that environment, and we have built for you a comprehensive product there. Technology, I have spoken about it. You will see here at the bottom on the right hand side that we've got a system with the name of Isolytics. It stands for actually ISO Analytics. So, and the slogan there is we are driving performance and certainty. If you look at that, you will recognize that we have actually taken the risk definition in ISO 31000, and we have turned that into a positive, where the definition of risk is the effect of uncertainty on objectives. We have said here we are driving performance and certainty, because we have got a bird's eye view of what is happening in your business. Incubation, very important. What is happening now in the world actually, because if we're looking at business coaching, at executive coaching, at C-suite incubation, as well as at business rescue. Business rescue, we are not looking at liquidation, not at all. We are looking at how can we turn your business around. And then events, we are conducting just like this now, webinars, summits, forums, conferences, etc. And then our flagship is number 8. That is our international certification, and we can do international certification on persons, on products, on management systems, on training organizations, trainers, and auditors. I just want to give you a bit of a global view on who is Crest. So we have been in discussions with an international company that is actually having offices all over the world, and we have signed our agreement the 17th of June. So from yesterday, the 1st of July, we are actually part and parcel of this huge network globally. So at the moment, we've got offices in South Africa, this one here. We've got offices in Botswana. We've got offices in Namibia, and we will be, as Crest Advisory Africa, we will be getting offices, I think, in Atlanta in the US, and then in Melbourne in Australia over the next 2 to 3 months. All right, and you can see on the left hand side all the companies and countries that we are supporting in every city there. So what is visible evidence of leadership? I want to say that in webinar number 7, that was on Tuesday, we were speaking a lot about what is leadership. Now I'm going to, and this is this one here, if we're looking at the 7 principles of ISO, leadership is critical, because without the tone at the top, with the correct vision, with the correct understanding of what you need to do, you are going to lose engagement of people. You are going to lose your customer focus. You're going to lose a process approach and your relationships. So what I'm going to speak about today is this evidence-based decision making. And this is the evidence that is actually supporting your leadership in making sure that what we have done, we can actually track and trace that back to a decision that is actually in your process, documented there, and through that you can actually scrutinize that and determine, did I make the right decision or not? Can we make a better decision in the future? And this is what we are going to be talking about today. So the structure of this is actually, I am going to speak about the statement, that is the description of the principle. Secondly, the rationale, the explanation of why we need to do that, the key benefits, examples of that, and then the action you can take. And this is actually coming from ISO itself. So this is actually beautiful guidelines that we are talking about. So the statement here is, firstly, decisions based on the analysis and evaluation of data. So we are talking about scientific approach here. We are not talking about one of my good friends has one day indicated to me that some companies are working with the FUD, the FUD principle. It is, and if you're talking about the FUD principle, FUD, we are speaking about fear, we are speaking about uncertainty, and we're speaking about doubt. And this is what, if we are looking at whether you are in health and safety, whether you are in quality, whether you are in IT, and IT, definitely, if they can provide fear in using your systems, and you can have doubt about it, then you are getting budgets. So we're looking at scientific data, we're looking at information that is available, and the more likely to produce a desired result. Now, a desired result is actually an outcome. That is the definition of an objective. If you're looking at ISO 31000, to actually reach your desired result. So if you're looking at the rationale behind this, it is actually decision making can be a complex process, and it always involves some uncertainty, and this is why the meaning of risk. So we are taking risk every day. We are taking risk in just waking up. We are taking risk in getting into a car, driving somewhere. But we are making a conscious decision about the risks involved. As well as if you are going somewhere that you know that when you get there, this is the risks that I am actually exposing myself to, and you are creating a rationale in yourself to determine, is that uncertainty, or can I create certainty? It often involves multiple types of sources of input, and as well as their interpretation, which can be subjective. Very important there, and this is why we are saying, and this is why in this whole COVID period, people were talking about, go to trustable sources, please. Go to sources that you can trust, that is not a Facebook post by somebody that is in hysteria, that hasn't got the context of an understanding of what is happening, and out of that you can make better decisions. And it's important to understand cause and effect relationships. Very important this, because cause and effect relationships are critical, and potential unintended consequences. And facts, evidence, and data analysis lead to greater objectivity and confidence in decision making. So I want to just stop there. Facts, evidence, and data analysis. The question is, do people have the competency for actually data analysis? Do they have the competency for data analysis and evaluation? Do people have the competency of actually monitoring a specific environment, measuring it against what is your key performance areas, your key performance indicators, your key risk indicators, etc. And can you make out of that appetite and tolerance space, can you make better decisions? And that is actually the whole process flow of visible evidence of leadership. The key benefits of this is improved decision-making processes, improved assessment of process performance and the ability to achieve objectives. Again, process performance, the assessment of it. Now, if you're looking at risk assessment is actually on a process, on a system. It is on mechanics. It is on everything that you can actually touch your hand or can look at. But if people don't understand that risk assessment is actually defined as the overall process of risk identification, risk analysis, and risk evaluation, those three things are critical for the process performance, to actually understand what is that process actually identified to actually measure, and what kind of evidence do you actually need out of that process to get the performance there. Then we're looking at improved operational effectiveness and efficiency, increased ability to review, challenge and change opinions and decisions. Very important this, because without data, without analysis, without evaluation, and without the correct assessment tools, your decisions and your opinions that you need to change actually from higher management or from anybody that is sitting with the company purse is actually going to be null and void if you cannot show validity in the whole process. And then increased ability to demonstrate the effectiveness of past decisions. And this is where we're looking at every decision that you have made in the past is actually giving you the background of the past and actually guiding you into the future. At one company that I've implemented a certain management system, we've actually people were at that time in the beginning of this process, and I said to them, instead of, and I didn't even speak about risk or the specific management system's name. I was just saying, let's start with a decision decision register. So a decision register, I want to have 2 or 3 decisions that you are making a day. Every problem, because we in the management side are always solving problems. Now that problem is actually a process performance that is now lacking. That decision that you have to make about a problem that you are solving is actually the lack of your internal control effectiveness. So we are speaking here about past decisions, and what was interesting, this project was about over the period of about 6 to 8 months, and in the first 5 weeks, people were coming up with decisions, and when we started to analyze it, it was actually the exact same root cause analysis that we were speaking about 10-15 people, and all of them had the same kind of problem. So, actions that you can take. Firstly, to determine, measure, and monitor key indicators. So this is your KPIs aligned with your objectives to demonstrate the organization's performance or your unit's performance. Make all data needed available to the relevant people. And that is openness and transparency. Ensure that data and information are sufficiently accurate, reliable, and secure. Very important this, because the moment that you are starting to, I want to say, massage your data, massage your measurement, I don't want to say manipulate it, that is not a very good word in a sense, but the moment that you are starting to massage that, the validity of your information is actually starting to be changing. So your accuracy, your reliability, and the secureness of your evidence is actually then gone. To analyze and evaluate data and information using suitable methods. So also, this question here is very important. What kind of suitable methods are you using? What is the methods that, or what is the methodology that you have used to actually reach that specific outcome there? And ensure people are competent to analyze and evaluate data as needed. And I want just to stop there. I have spoken about this in my previous slide as well. But competency. If we are looking at competency, there's 4 critical components that you need to have and need to understand about competency. Competency is firstly looking at knowledge. So this is the knowledge that you have actually studied for or something. Secondly, it is looking at skills. So the skills is, do you have personal skills? Do you have conflict resolution skills? All those kind of soft skills. Do you have even PowerPoint skills? Do you have skills to actually conduct Zoom or building a presentation? What kind of skills, what is your skill set that you have, and what do you need? And then we're talking about behavior. Now this is our third point here, that behavior, you can be as knowledgeable and as skillful as you can be, but if you have got a bad attitude, if you have got bad behavior, guys, you cannot work with that person. To actually work with the bad behavior, or the, I want to say, the emotional unintelligence of that person, is going to destroy the knowledge and the skills that you've got. And the overarching domain here that we are speaking about is context. If you don't have context of what you are analyzing, if you don't have context of what are you evaluating, if you have got the knowledge, the skills and behavior and everything is right, but you are a newly appointed person in a company, You don't have context of that company. You don't. So then it is making that your decisions that you are coming up there, the question is your methods then suitable or not? And you make decisions and take actions based on evidence, balanced with experience and intuition. So this is where the context and your behavior is coming in, and the knowledge that you have built and the experience that you have built over the years. I want to go over two types of management, and we are speaking here about a hierarchy of documents. Now, a hierarchy of documents is very important because you need to know what kind of document is a level 1 document, and you need to be able to go and classify those. Secondly, what is a level 2 document? What is level 3 document? What's level 4 document? So level 1 documents, we as auditors of management systems, we as auditors of any other system are looking at firstly, what is your governance framework description documents? So this is documents to do with your policies, your scope, your management reviews, and any other strategic documents. So this is MOUs, this is service level agreements with your vendors, etc. Level 2 documents describes the operational controls and procedures, and this speaks about the who, the what, the when, the how, the where, and the why. Why are you having that document? Because the level 2 document is actually a culmination of a level 1 document. There must be a mandate for you to actually go and develop a level 2 document. Level 3 documents is speaking about the description in detail how the tasks and activities are conducted. And we are speaking here about worksheets, forms, checklists, attendance list, anything that you can use to actually describe how the detail, even specifications, anything that you can put in there. And then level 4 documents are speaking about it provides objective evidence of compliance with the requirements. And if we're looking at objective evidence, we are speaking here about evidence like a simple thing. In level 3, you've got an attendance register. Now that attendance register, without the data in that it was completed on and who is attending a meeting, that is not evidence as yet. That is just an evidence that you've got a template. The moment that you've got a meeting, just like this one here, we are recording it, so this is our evidence. We have got the people's all the attendees emails that they have subscribed to this webinar, so we've got the evidence on that. So anything that you can record, even that attendance list, the moment that it is completed and everybody has signed, that is crucial and critical operational evidence. Now I just want to go through this with you. If you're talking about the creation of templates, what kind of documents are you looking at? So firstly, we're looking at the types of documents here, and I'm going to go through this as a level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4 document. So firstly, a policy. Secondly, a procedure, guidelines, guarantees, a charter, a schematic process, a narrative process, a form, a guide, a data sheet. So if you're looking at a policy, it's the overall intention and direction of an organization. So immediately it gives me strategy going forward, and that is a level 1 document. If you're talking about a procedure, specific instructions that clearly explains the steps. Now, explaining the steps is detail. So that procedure could then actually be a standard operating procedure and SOP, because we are speaking here about the steps, not the what and the why and etc. We are speaking about here about the steps. Guidelines. Guidelines is explained here as general declaration to achieve the policy objectives by providing guidance on good practices to be followed. Now, if I'm looking at this, I can see this as a level 2 document, because it is saying me the what, the where, the how, and where are we going to in achieving the policy or the strategy of the company. Guarantee. It is a written agreement about longevity and operational and security of operations of a product. So that written agreement is actually a level 1 document, because you have got the agreement. It is just like insurance. You are taking out insurance because you've got a risk. You have made a decision through the board or through Exco, and that agreement is actually a statutory agreement that you've got. We're talking about a charter, is the description of agreement between organizations. If I seeing that, I am seeing immediately a relationship between either government and business, between business and a vendor, between business and a supplier, anything there, and that guides your whole company. So that is for me a level 1 document. Schematic process. If I'm looking at the schema illustrating the working of a process, now the process is now the what, the way, and etc. And we are speaking about the schematic illustration of that. That gives me a level 3 document. A narrative process is again the detailed explanation. That is level 3 document. A form, as I have explained to you earlier, for a paper or electronic form, which is designed to provide or record information about an operation. So this is now a template, a checklist. It doesn't matter what, it is a form. Now that form, if it's not completed, it is level 3. If it's completed, it is a level 4. Then we are speaking about a guide. The guide is a practical document giving detailed instructions of use and of the installation, maintenance of operations. That is level 3 document. And then the data sheet is documents that summarizes the technical information. That is also for me a level 3 document. So very easy. If you are starting to be having a change control documentation template, or how to develop evidence actually and how to collect that, you have got here a fantastic overview of what is firstly, just want to go to the previous slide quickly, what is firstly the levels that you are talking about a document, because the moment that you are talking about the various levels here, you need to know that the people on that level that's actually working on that level, they must be supervised to actually develop the document. A level 1 person is not expected to deliver or to go and develop a checklist on a level 3. That is for me totally where the management guidelines are actually getting missing, because guys on a strategic level must keep themselves busy on strategy. People on an operational level must keep themselves busy with executing everything that you have got there in your strategy. This slide is just everything that I've explained to you. It is actually in this the presentation that you can have it afterwards. I want to speak about the document lifecycle. How do you create a document, and what is the requirements on that? So firstly, we are speaking here about, if you are creating a document, there must be a purpose for it. There must be a mandate. There must be a need. And you will see that mostly we are not creating documents if there's not a problem, if there's not a challenge, if there's not a misconduct happening, or any damages to your company. So if you are starting to be working in a scientific approach, you are looking at how can I prevent anything from happening, and this is where you are sitting and determining, I've got these objectives, these are my key performance indicators, these are my key risk indicators, and out of this I need to have a procedure, I need to have an SOP, I need to have a form, I need to have a checklist, everything. And this is where you are sitting with your creation. What do you create? What kind of level of document do you create? Because that is evidence going forward. Secondly, identification. Out of the creation, there's identification. So your key risk indicators, your key performance indicators, your objectives, if you are analyzing your objectives, you will see, but I don't have control just to give you one example. I've been working with one of the big spirit producers globally, and when we visited the bottling plant that they've got in one of the countries, that they were having a fantastic process, but when we went to the bins where everything is discarded that is broken, like bottles or plastic bottles, etc., the most important thing for a spirit producers is actually the the cap of the bottle, the cap of Johnny Walker, the cap of Jameson, the cap of Smirnoff 1818. That enclosure is actually giving you the seal that you are breaking when you are opening that bottle. And my question was, how do you keep record? And because I was seeing a lot of these I want to say damaged caps there, and I was asking them, now how many caps did you order? How many caps did you use? How many caps did you discard of or was damaged? Can you give me a reconciliation on that? And they couldn't, but they were sitting with challenges of counterfeit. So people that is actually getting those caps has got the time to go and actually correct that cap and make it nice, and just get a bottle and produce the same kind of spirits, but actually poison in the same bottle. So that is actually brand reputation that is gone down the drain by a simple method and a procedure that you can implement there. Then classification and the security of the document. Very important, because your classification, whether it is confidential, whether it is internal, whether it is secret, in top secret. I've been working, I worked in a, I consulted, and I have also worked in a space where our classification was from open communication or confidential to top secret. So you need to know that in that top secret space that these people has got the authority to actually read that document, firstly. Secondly, you must have a vetting and screening process around the people that's actually having that specific access to documentation. I would say in companies, the budget, the risk register, the business continuity register, all of those are for me top secret. Not even confidential or secret, it is top secret. Because if your competitor knows what is your vulnerabilities, you are sitting with a competitor that can actually outperform you in the market. Then we're looking at modification. How do you modify a document that is already in existence, and what is the process there? Then the process of approval. What is the levels of approval that you've got there? Is it a 3-level approach? And we are speaking here also about combined assurance. I will in my next webinar, or in another webinar, I will give you a diagram of combined assurance in an X and a Y axle, that you can actually see approval is coming from operational level, going through to your exco and the board for approval, but also it is going on the right hand side on your X axle. It is also there to do with the assurers that you've got in your business. You've got verticals in your business in saying that is operations, that is maintenance, that is so and so, and within their structure they have also got an approval process there, and this has to do with combined assurance on 2 levels. Then your distribution. Distribution is who can read that document. Where do I distribute it to? Is it an open document? Is it a classified document? How do I do that? Then adequate use. In the ISO standards, any ISO standard, you can read clause 7.5.3. Now 7.5.3 says that any person that is actually working with a specific task must have access to that specific information that is describing that task. So if we are just talking about access control, I want to use that because that is at the gate. This is where people are actually entering your domain, your classified domain. Do the person there at the gate, do they have access to the documentation? Do they have access to access control documentation? In some cases, people don't even know of that. They are so used to actually working with other people that is teaching them that they miss the documentation. Then, and how do you measure this? Because if you're starting to measure the utilization of documentation use, you will see that people don't use it, or they don't even consult it. You must have a track and trace on that document to determine if 100 people is working with it on a monthly basis, how many times do they consult it? Excuse me. And then archiving. How do you archive? Now, I like this one a lot because if you're talking about classified information and security, and you are and you are archiving that classified documentation that is top secret in a place that is not even classified, like you've got these document warehouses and all these places that is now offsite um, archiving your documents. If you're doing that, you are actually breaching your own rules. You are actually you are actually in disrespect of your own classifications. So you are actually declassifying that document the moment that you are archiving it. And then disposal. Who is responsible for disposal? Who is actually, if that document is lying in that document warehouse or an outsourced service, who is disposing it? Do they have the instruction to dispose it? And how do you have, or what do you have as a witness of the disposal of these classified documentations? And who is going to be present for a level 1 document um, disposal, a level 2 document disposal, level 3 document disposal? Everything here is actually working in tandem because you need to make sure that your document lifecycle that must be established here at the bottom is described, and that you have agreement and sign off from the highest level approval from the board to say that our documentation will be handled in this way. Now I just want to so the implementation of the document management system. So we are looking here at firstly, how do you facilitate that? How do you take care of the processes and documentation? Because just remember, um, every document that you are actually developing is costing money. The reason for that is the person that is giving the instruction on that for the whole life cycle, that person, whether that person is an executive or a senior manager, that person has a rate per hour that the company is paying him. The supervisor has got a rate per hour. The person that is building that document has got a rate per hour. The person that is actually evaluating and assessing that document before it is going for approval, all of them has got rates per hour. And if you're looking at the rate per hour cost of a document, then you must go and determine how much, I want to say, how expensive is a document. And we are actually working with companies that is not respecting documentation. Documentation are lying on a table in a place where you've got a clean desk policy. Documents are given out, and so that taking care of the whole process life cycle and actually giving a cost on your process development, that is critical, because people can actually say that, you know what, I can cost that person, I can cost that system, I can cost that technology, I can cost everything else. But do they know how expensive documentation are? We as consultants that is actually building it, we know that we are sitting with one simple document just to plan it, to go through it, to assess it, to get approval, etc. That takes you, if you are working flat out, that takes you about 16 hours, 24 hours. If you are specifically focusing on that document, it depends on what kind of document. If I'm looking at a business continuity strategy, definitely that can easily take 40 hours. If I'm looking at in business continuity at a disaster recovery plan, definitely that is 40 hours flat out on one document. And then we're talking about traceability. How can I trace that document and the security attached to it? How do I do that, and how do I manage that? And the optimizing of the search and updating of the documents is critical, because you need to have some kind of system that you are working with. There's a few systems that you can actually work with. SharePoint is nowadays very popular for the storage archiving of documents, but the hard copy document, where is that one? Where is that document actually lying? Where is your tender specifications or your tender replies? Where is those things lying? So there's a few systems there that we can work with. I just want to, I'm not going to demo our system today, but our isolytic system has actually got a evidence library that you can actually, for everything that you are doing, you can actually go in there, you can deposit there, and you've got the whole access trail of it for your assets, for your documentation, for everything that you've got. So our membership and endorsements, you can see that we are endorsed in a lot of places. I've spoken about the PCB on slide 3, so I'm not going to be elaborating on that anymore. I want to ask you, go to our website, please. Our website has got for you a lot of information. One of the documents that is that is actually critical is I've been honored to be part and parcel of this PCB Insights magazine that was issued yesterday morning globally into 150 countries, and this document is actually taking you through. Just want to see if I can. I don't want to lose everybody there, but if I can just stop that quickly, and you will see they. Just want to open it quickly on the on my system. Just a moment. Sorry, there is it. No, I will send through. There's it. So I will send through the document that I've got for all of you that you've got access to it. I'm not going to go into that one now. Sorry, my apologies. So I will make sure that all of you are getting it. And so if we are looking at the documentation that we are actually speaking about, go to our webinars, book. This is free education that you are getting. We are taking this from the highest standard of educational environments, and we are actually breaking it down into smaller pockets, and we are distributing it to everybody here. Helene, I just want to ask, can you see me?
Yes, we can see you.
Am I sharing everything? Okay. I just want to make sure
you're not sharing a screen at the moment. There you go.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you. Okay. So because you are attending this webinar, we will give you. You can send us an email if you are interested. We will give you access to our isolytic system. That is actually a brilliant system. It has got so much functionality, and it is a system that can actually guide you and assist you into combined assurance, into assurance, and everything else that you need there. So please send us an email. Then we will give you the access to the system, and you will have free access for 6 weeks. And I want to thank everybody for attending. Is there any questions, Helene?
No questions on the chat, but the floor is open.
Okay. Paul, King, do you have questions? Gulam, anybody? Malete?
Yeah, no, I think it's a very, again, if you look at the context we are in, especially around the working from home and accesses and
Yes.
all that.
Yes.
I think the fundamentals of making sure that all the documentation, the governance process is in place, it actually makes it one, easier to secure, and then two, in case of breaches, be able to go down the line to try and establish adequately what could or would have happened.
Thank you very much for that input, Paul. Gulam, anything from your side? Malete?
Hi.
Gulam, yes.
Oh, yes.
The floor is yours.
Yeah, from my side, very informative. We do have a management system. We're using SharePoint. but it's actually not the best tool. There's a lot of flaws in it.
Yes, there are. I know. But it is commonly
So I'll
used.
definitely go in and have a look at your system if you can just mail me the link.
No
And I'd
problem.
like to just explore a little bit in that 3 weeks that we have with it.
Okay.
And
I'll
I'll
do
be
that.
joining some of your other sessions as well.
Please do. Please do. All right.
All right.
Thank you very much. Okay. Malete, are you okay? No questions? Then I want to thank everybody and to say that this is our contact details. We will send you the recording later today, and please make use of us. We as you have seen that we are a global company. We are working in global areas, so we are there for your assistance. All right. Thanks everybody, and have a lovely and safe week further. Bye bye.
Thank
Thank
you very
you.
much. Cheers. Thank you.
Bye.